Hey guys, this is Lilith every night. Thanks for watching. This is something that I always wanted to share, but this is one of my important videos because this spell was the beginning of my shamanic journey as a spiritual healer and someone who loves the holistic healing path and is a holistic healer to myself. And I'm a big herbalist, enthusiast on all those kind of things, including shamanic work and Reiki, but of course magic as a witch, healing magic. And so this was one of these, if you want to say, it became a ritual eventually, but it's a very simple spell for people that aren't witches or people who are, and people who just want a very simple spell that doesn't require like all these complicated notions on like, oh, I have to do it on a certain moon phase or a certain day. This spell is so simple that you don't have to be so specific, and you don't have to be a professional to do a spell that is just as powerful as any ritual for somebody who knows their moon phases and knows their days. This is just very simplistic. It's like one of those spells that mean this spell is pretty much is this spell is the definition of more is less when it comes to ritual magic. So anyway, let me just kind of get to the point. This is a healing spell. And I called this spell the healing spell of the body, mind, and soul, but originally it's a spell for any illness, any disease, any sickness that may be going on within your body or within somebody that is a loved one or a friend or just someone that you may want to send that magic out for. So I was very surprised by the results that I've gotten in this spell, and this is when I was in my very beginning stages as a shamaness, as a medicine woman, and it definitely taught me how to surrender more when it came to knowing my power and my magical power and my healing power, and any kind of magic that I was good at. The most I would have to say was healing magic. So I'm gonna stop rambling, and that was just the little backstory of this spell. So what you can do is I got a white candle because white candles, the color white is purity. It's also healing, and it can also represent love. And love is a very magical vibration. It's a very healing vibration. So, white represents purity. It represents just that cleanse. It's very cleansing, it's very pure, it's very loving, and it's just very healing. So also another reason why I got white was because you can always substitute it for any color candle. So if I always want to do my healing work, healing magic, I always get like a white candle or a green candle because green is also a healing color. And sometimes I use purple. But, I would recommend using any color that is going to help you meditate on the healing. So it's always going to be white, purple, and, sometimes purple, depending on, if I want to feel more magical that day. Doesn't really matter, green or white is probably the best for the meditation, the healing work. But let's just say you have white. So anyway, I know I'm getting off track, so let me get to the point. So I was in the garden. I know I don't have a lot of herbs because this is a very simple spell, like I said, and I know like people are very specific on certain herbs to use. So, sometimes I feel like you have to be drawn to the herb that is, you really feel that's going to resonate with your spell. But at the same time, they do have meanings. And so chamomile is used, magically. It's used for meditation. And I know has other, it's good for sleeping and dreams and all that. So you can also, you know, maybe you can dry, I'm talking a lot, so, you know, I can just use it for meditation, but I just love chamomile. It just has, you just feel the vibration of chamomile, and it just has a very soothing, relaxing kind of feel to it. And, you know, just speaking to the herbs, you know, it has energy. Everything is energy. So, so I have chamomile. You don't have to use chamomile. You can always do your research. Like sage, eucalyptus, which I have, are very healing. You know, there's so many herbs. I should do a separate video on what kind of herbs and which ones work for me on these kinds of spells. So anyway, I have rosemary, a little piece of rosemary that I got out in nature. I live in nature, so I'm very blessed to find a lot of medicinal and magical herbs. So chamomile, sage, and I have, yeah, and then I have some beautiful sage that is, you know, from my garden. And then I'm going to probably use, so I have sage, chamomile, and rosemary, you know, but use whatever pleases you. That is a healing herb. You know, if you have these herbs, you know. But I would have to say I would recommend using herbs that work on this vibration, just to kind of get you into that meditation, that right thought. And now I have some eucalyptus, because eucalyptus is very powerful. As they're all powerful, so this is a healing herb. So any healing herbs you can find, any healing herbs, whether it's eucalyptus, whether it's sage, you know, you name it, you can always do your research on it, and you can always find that. I should do a separate video on that and talk about that. So anyway, I'm gonna stop talking. And I also have some lavender oil. Like, I'm looking outside, and okay, so I'm using the lavender oil to rub the candle, use it as a rub. I should have brought my little grinder. I don't know what it's called, but it's, you know. Anyway, I'm just gonna do what I gotta do naturally. So let me take that. I'm gonna put that there. And then sometimes what I like to do is I like to, if I had like a stick or something, so you can always do, I have runes. Every rune, I'm going to do a separate video on runes. You can draw runes, you can draw sigils. So runes are very hard to pronounce, but I have one that's called man, and this one is, well actually, let me find one that's more into healing. Let me just find a simple rune for healing. Okay, let's see. I think this one's called Tur. Okay, so Tur, it's T-I-R. This one's spelled T-I-R, but it has its own little symbol that just looks like a T. So, let me just draw that in. This is a rune that's good for healing, to face any difficulties. I don't know if you can see it, but it's right there. And I like to draw hearts sometimes, because heart, you know, the heart is called, I can't even speak right. The heart represents love, and love conquers all, and love is a very healing energy. It's very powerful energy. It's very healing. So, and then I have another one I'm going to draw. This is another rune. I'm just using this as an example, but I am gonna use this candle for my healing journey. Again, you know, it never hurts to do these little spells that I've had for years. You know, it just rejuvenates you, you know, rejuvenates the energy, refreshes the magic. So yeah, so you can draw any rune that represents the healing that you need in these times and days, especially for the coronavirus. This spell is very good for having that kind of mindset, you know, for the coronavirus, for cancer, for any disease that you could think of, any virus. This is good for to bring that love and to bring that healing and to bring the power of, whether if you want to work with your ancestors. So you can work with your ancestors on this spell. You can work with your angels. You can work with the healing fairies, because fairies are involved in the healing arts. You can work whatever if you feel that it's major, you can do that. You can work with your ancestors. You can work with your angels. And also, people who, even if you're not religious, because the Bible has a lot of psalms, so you can also add it, amplify it, boost it up, and use Psalms 91, which I have it right here. So I don't want to. So it's right here. Psalms 91. So if those people, even if you're not religious, Psalms have a lot of magic. The Bible has a lot of magic. It's a very magical book, and that will be really, really, really great. It will put a lot of healing into your candle. It will put a lot of magic into your candle, and yeah. So I would highly recommend that. I mean, if you don't have one, you can always get one for free somewhere. And if you can't get one for free, a Bible for free and read the Psalms, you can always find one on sale somewhere. So the Psalms are very great for magic. I would recommend using Psalms for magic. So yeah, that is something that I wish I told myself when I was starting out as a witch, was to give the Psalms a chance. You can always be creative with it. So I'm going to put all the herbs in here. I'm putting a little of the ones that I chose. You can always choose whatever healing herb that you may want. Just, you can go online and go, I think there's a blog, Wicca, I don't know, but there's a vlog. It's called Wicca something, Wicca blog spot or something, and it has a lot of different kind of herbs and their properties. You can always go to, whatchamacallit, you can go to, okay, so I have some sage, and then, okay, so I'm just putting the herbs in there. I drew my runes, and now I'm just putting the sage in here. So when I'm going to use a little drops of lavender oil, to rub it in, and then to just rub it in. And I'm gonna do a separate video on herbs. It just looks pretty. This just looks pretty on its own. You don't have to I don't have to grind it up too much. I think it's gonna look really pretty, which is also a good vibration. You just thinking of the beauty of this, just thinking about how beautiful it looks already is already giving it positive energy. So you want to have a positive mindset and a positive mentality before you do magic, and you just want to be grateful for that the fact that you found the right utensils. Just find the positivity in your magic, in your work. And then, do not start this with a horrible mindset, because you're not going to be having the right mindset and the right mentality. Oh yeah, and I'm going to talk about cleansing and consecration. But for right now, people who just want to have a very simple way of just cleansing it, all I have some Palo Santo. You can use, I'm going to show you guys how to make smudge sticks probably. So you can always just cleanse that energy around. But I will do a cleansing and consecration video on how to cleanse and consecrate with all of the elements. So I'm looking outside. Oh yeah, let me put some eucalyptus. Oh, okay, so I cleansed that. Just that's an example of how to cleanse that energy out that you may not want. So I have some eucalyptus in here, another healing herb. So I'm gonna shut up about me rambling and then just get to the point, so we can just do that. So you can use affirmations or a poem, write a song about what you want to heal from. So I am just lighting that. I know it looks like it took a long time, but it should take a shorter time. So yeah, so I like this candle. Look at that. Oh my god. Okay. That power, that energy is intense. So, if you can see that. I know, I know, like, my magic always does that though. Even without the herbs, it still does that. So that was just, it's even swirling around, so you know, like, that magic is really working through here. So this is a healing herb, a healing candle spell, very simple. So what I'm going to say for this one is, with this candle, I burn away your wounds and bring birth to health and healing and happiness. You know, you could say something like that. But sometimes, what I used to say, I could say something like that. I could say, I have healed myself. I have loved myself and those around me. I love myself. I heal myself and those around me. And you can really see the magic working. And but what you say, when you say that, you have to like envision it and focus on the flame. Focus on meditating on the candle, seeing how you feel when you finally feel that healing working, when you feel that miracle working. Feel how it would feel and focus on that, but meditate on it. And just whenever your spirit is ready to release the moment of this candle working spell today, just surrender to it that night. And you know, if I'm one of those people that don't like to waste candles, so I like to, you know, meditate. Give it like 15 minutes of your time to just meditate on the candle. You know, smell the aromas of the essential oil and the herbs and the scent of the candle, and envision you having this answer, being the universe answering it, answering your magic. So yeah, and but as soon as you surrender to that intent, you want to not have any doubt that the healing is not working. You have to believe that the healing is working and know that the healing is working. And always pay attention to the signs after you do the spell. So yeah, like you can see one of your spirit animals coming to visit you by your window, which happened to me the last time I did a healing spell. Yeah, so I'm gonna do the quote one more time. I might write the quote, the spell chant. So you can either go, I will heal myself, I will love myself. I can't even remember, this one's so long. Okay, so I have healed myself, I have loved myself and those around me. I have loved myself, I have healed myself and those around me. Or the one I wrote down, it says, with this candle I burn away your wounds and bring health and healing and happiness. So this spell is good for, like I said, any sort of sickness, whether it's a cold, whether it's cancer, whether it is any major illnesses. And I will talk about how I've worked with other beings, you know, my spiritual journey, and using these kind of spells and using familiars and using ancestors to also help me, you know, become a little bit more enhanced. Or sometimes if you don't want to do that, you can always use Psalms 91 as well. So yeah, that is it. And if you are new to the channel, please subscribe. I know this was kind of all over the place, but this is a very simple spell. It's not going to take 20 minutes. If not, it takes 20 minutes to prepare it, but once you have it all prepared, it's shorter than this. And it's just about the intent. It's about the meditation. It's about knowing that you're being healed. and knowing that you're being helped. And yeah, so this is what I do as a shamanic witch. And please subscribe, like, share, comment. Please help me grow this channel. Please help me do at least 1,000 subscribers. You know, in these times of days, you know, I really need to, you know, be more focused on my platform. And if you guys can help me with that, that would be great. Thank you.